oldies but goodies. I hope you enjoyed it. We are going through the budget this week, which is where we decide the money that we spend to help everyone in Montgomery County. And so it's a very important process. So that's why we were a little behind, but we're going to be finishing that up this week, and then a little bit next week. And then, so we may have some other changes in the time, but we're going to do our best to be here every day. I know you're excited because I'm excited. We have a really special day in Storytime history tomorrow. We're going to have Academy Award winning, or not yet, she's going to win an Oscar. She hasn't won yet, but she was nominated for Best Actress in a feature film for the role of Harriet. And one of the books we're going to start today, we're not going to finish it because it's pretty long, is I Am Harriet by Brad Meltzer and Christopher Elopoulos. And these are the I Am series. And Harriet Tubman is a very important person. She is actually from Maryland, grew up here, and helped bring hundreds of people from slavery in the South and here in Maryland to freedom in the North and Canada. And we're going to learn about her story. So we're going to start it today. And Cynthia Erivo, who's going to be our guest tomorrow, is a good friend of mine. She played the role of Harriet in the film that just came out recently called Harriet. So you can ask your parents about that, but we're going to learn a little bit about her. She's also a great singer and an actress, and she's been in many other things. So we're going to talk to her about a whole bunch of things, and she's going to read a book. So it'll be really exciting. So think of questions. If you have any questions you want to ask, type them in our page today, and so that we can be prepared and try to ask some of those tomorrow when we have Cynthia on the show. And that'll be 12:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So just about 23 and a half hours from now. So we're really excited about that. So we'll start that book. And then we're also going to read I Am the Biggest Thing in the Ocean by Kevin Sherry. And this is a very cool book. I have not read, but I've heard about it. And we thank the Dial Books for the permission for both of these. These are both Dial Books. So who's the publisher? So thank you. So we're going to read that one first, and then we'll see how far we can get in this one. And then we will finish this story next week about Harriet Tubman. All right, let's see who we have on our shout out list. I want to say hi to Robin and Olivia and Mateo. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Achoo. So you see what I did? Napkin, fold it up, or if you can't get a napkin, into your arm. We don't want to spread any viruses. That was just my allergies. All right. I want to say hi to Robin, Olivia, Mateo, Parker, Elijah, and Kiera, and Luciano. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us earlier this week. I hope you're back, and invite more people to come. Big day tomorrow, so get here early. 12:30 p.m. Eastern, remember. Thanks, as always, to our Montgomery County Public Libraries team for all the work that they do to help us prepare for Storytime and select the books. And let's do our welcome song one time around, and then let's get into these books. You ready, Mr. Monkey? Yes, I'm ready. All right. We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. With our friends at Storytime, we clap and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. With our friends at Storytime, we wave and sing hello. We stop and sing hello. We stop and sing hello. With our friends at Storytime, we stop and sing hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Casa de Jawando. All right. Let's start with I Am the Biggest Thing in the Ocean. This book is pretty big, too. Look how big it is compared to this one. Which one's big? Which one's small? Big, bigger, smaller, right? All right. Got a picture of a whole bunch of things in the ocean. I am a giant squid, and maybe you haven't noticed, but I'm pretty big. I'm bigger than this page. I'm bigger than this book. I dare you to find anything bigger than me. Uh-oh, let's see how big he is. I'm the biggest thing in the ocean. I'm a giant squid, and I'm big. Okay, you look pretty big there, giant squid. I'm bigger than these shrimp. Little shrimps, look. You ever have shrimp? That's where they come from, the ocean. I'm bigger than these clams. I'm bigger than this crab. Snap, snap, snap. It's pretty big. I'm bigger than that jellyfish. That's a pretty big jellyfish, though. Sometimes they can get pretty big. You ever seen a jellyfish in the ocean? I'm bigger than these turtles. How many turtles do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm even bigger than this octopus. Oh, wow. I think they're in the same family, right? The squid and the octopus, they both have the legs, the tentacles. I'm bigger than that shark. Shh. Even though he's bigger, he's still scared of the shark. See all those sharp teeth? I'm bigger than this fish. Uh-oh. Looks like it's got some spikies on him. That fish, this fish, and that fish. He's bigger than all of them. Look at all those fish he's bigger than. I'm the biggest thing in the ocean. Shun, shun, shun. He's so loud his voice echoes. Shun, shun, shun. He's pretty big. Oh, here comes something else to eat him. Uh-oh, that's where bigger. What do you think that is? Looks like a whale to me. Yum, 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 yum. Mr. Monkey, he got eaten by the big whale. Guess he wasn't the biggest thing in the ocean. Looks like he's inside the stomach now. With what? All the other people that he's bigger than. With the fish and the turtles and the shark, they're all inside this whale. I'm the biggest thing in this whale, said the squid. I guess he's kind of right about that, huh? The end. And the little Finding Nemo fish says, I'm bigger than this plankton. Everyone's talking about how big they're bigger than somebody. The point of that is there's probably always someone bigger than you, but that doesn't matter. You still be nice to everybody, right? All right. Very cool. All right, all right, all right. We've got, and like I said, we're going to start the Harriet Tubman, I Am Harriet Tubman book, and we'll do our hand washing song real quick to wash our hands. Then we'll start this book and see how far we get, and then we'll finish it next week. And remember, Miss Cynthia Erivo is going to be our guest who played Harriet in the movies. Tops and bottoms, in between, rub them all together, scrub them all together. Now they're clean, now they're clean. Remember, we have to do it twice. Tops and bottoms, in between, rub them all together, scrub them all together. Now they're clean, now they're clean. I have a couple updates for parents, caregivers, and everybody after we read a little bit of this book that I want to give you. So stick around for that, please. All right. I Am Harriet Tubman. Got her lamp in her hand. Again, she's from Maryland. On the back, it says, follow me. I will lead the way to freedom. Now, some things in this book, if you haven't learned about our history, may be new to you. About slavery and how we treated people in our country and in this state. But but it's important to know it so that we learn from it and do better, right? So then this book presents it in a very good way. I am Harriet Tubman. See the log cabin in the woods and the bigger house? Do you know what the North Star is? It's one of the brightest stars in the sky. Unlike other stars, which may seem to move, the North Star always stays where it is. When you find it, it'll show you which way is north. Today, people know my name as Harriet Tubman, but when I was born, I was called Armanita or Minty. I was the fifth of 9 children in Maryland, born around 1822. When's your birthday? I don't know. How can you not know your birthday? It's because I was enslaved, she said. Back when I was growing up in certain parts of the country, in most parts of the country, if you were Black, you were most likely enslaved. We didn't have a choice. Being enslaved meant we were forced to work without pay. We were treated terribly. I cut my hand, the worker said. I don't care, keep working, said the mean owner. Can we have water? No, keep going, they said. We lived in tiny shacks with no windows. We slept on the floor or in boxes filled with straw. As kids, we had to wear sacks. And they certainly didn't celebrate our birthdays or keep records of when we were born. That's why she didn't know when she was born. Can you imagine not knowing your birthday? That wouldn't be good, would it? Worst of all, being enslaved meant we were property, no different from a horse or a piece of furniture. That meant my family, my mom, and my dad included, was owned by someone else. They could sell us, and they did. Where are my sisters going? Our owners sold them. They'll have new owners now. Please, Mama, please don't let them take us. Slaves were supposed to do whatever our owners told us to do. That's not nice, right? Isn't that sad? The next time they came, though, my mother was ready. Someone wanted to buy my younger brother. She had asked other slaves to help her hide my brother in the woods. For nearly a month, he hid in the woods. But eventually they found him. We're here for you, boy. You can't have him, the mother said. What'd you say? You heard me. The first man that comes into this house, I'll hit him square in the head. She was defending her son. It was a powerful moment. My mother standing up to these men. Was it dangerous? Definitely. But it was right. After that, they didn't sell my brother. She stood up to protect her family. As early as I can remember, I loved listening to my mother tell stories. She taught me some of life's most important lessons. Being enslaved, it was against the law for us to read or write. But she told me stories from the Bible, including the tale of Moses. He was the leader of the Israelites. He led them out of slavery to freedom. Freedom from slavery, huh? I like that story, Harriet said. Now, this is why it's so important to read and do well in school and learn and follow your lessons and do your online digital learning if you're doing that, or read every day like we do. Because you have to remember, at some points, they didn't let people read because they knew with reading you become intelligent, you become smart, and you figure out how to do things. And they didn't want them to do that because they wanted to keep them slaves. So that's why it's very important to read. When I was around 6 years old, it was my turn to start working. I still live with my family, but my owners hired me out to another farm. See that water? We set traps for muskrats in there. Get in there and see if we caught any. But the water is freezing, Harriet said. Are you talking back to me? You getting that water or else? Very mean. What would happen if we didn't do what they said? Our owners would whip us and beat them, or worse. You stopped working? Now you're in real trouble, he said. They have a whiplash here that they used to use. Very mean to try to keep people to do what they needed them to do. All right, let's see where we are here. All right, we can read a few more pages before we pause, okay? Let me show you that if you want to see her mom and then the pool with the muskrats or the lake. I know it's scary, but by hearing my story, I hope you'll find strength you never knew you had. That's what happened when I was around 7 years old. I was working in my owner's house and went to grab a lump of sugar from a nearby bowl. I'd never tasted sugar before. It looked so good. How dare you touch my sugar? The woman said. She reached for something to hit me with. I ran as fast as I could. When I got to someone else's farm, I hid in their pig pen. That's how scared I was. For 5 days, I stayed there hidden in the mud, fighting the pigs for potato peelings and scraps of food. Wow, can you imagine that? Eventually, I was starving and came back. When I did, they beat me. But now people started to realize I wasn't afraid to protect myself. By the time I was 12, I was working outdoors every day, where the hardest work was done. I hoed and harvested and lifted heavy barrels of flour. I got so strong and was chopping so much wood, even the men could barely keep up. How much did she chop? Half a cord? Girls can't do that much. You tell her that. Girls can do whatever they put their mind to. Working in the fields gave me more than physical strength. It gave me time to learn from other enslaved people, time to consider new ideas. Do you hear? The older gentleman said. 3 slaves escaped from the Brodus plantation. Escaped? They went up north, out of Maryland, where slavery is illegal. Up there, everyone's free, just like we should be. During that time, I spent many nights looking at the sky. My father was the one who taught me about the North Star. Remember that? Big North Star? It always points north. That's where Black people are free, right? In the North? Exactly. Follow the North Star and you'll always know you're heading in the right direction. All right, we're going to pause right there. I think that's a good place to stop, about halfway. So she learned about the importance of freedom and that if you followed the North Star, you'd always head in the right direction. So tomorrow or next week, we will finish the rest of this book. And I'm going to mark the page right here, okay? So that we know where to come back to. And we will finish it next week. But we can also ask Miss Arrivo tomorrow some questions about her experience in the book or in playing Harriet, because she spent a lot of time thinking about it, right? So we can ask about that. We can ask about anything else too. So we're really excited to have her tomorrow. All right, a couple of things before we go that I wanted to mention to you all. We had a press conference here in Montgomery County today. You may have heard, or your parents or your caregivers, aunts and uncles, grandma, grandpa may have heard that the Governor Hogan here in Maryland, is saying that laid out a plan for how we can open up and start to do more normal things and not always have everything be closed and be at home. That is going to take a while and is going to be a process of over time. Because we're here in Montgomery County, if you live in Montgomery County or Prince George's County, we're the largest jurisdiction, largest area. We have the most people of anywhere in Maryland. And we still are having issues with people getting sick and getting the virus. So we are not going to be opening up at like other parts in the state. So we're not going to be going to churches, and schools are again closed all year. We're not going to be going outside for large gatherings of over 10 people. We're still going to be making sure that we're doing social distancing and we're wearing face coverings when we go out in public. All that is still the same. So nothing has changed here in Montgomery County and Prince George's County right now. But we are going to keep you posted, and I'm going to post on my page later today outlining that our policies are still in place. We are planning for in the coming weeks to work on a gradual reopening, but with safety in mind, and it's going to be based on making sure the number of cases is going down. So everything is still in place. You're staying at home. If you go out to do exercise or emergency trips to the store and things like that, you wear face coverings, you stay 6 feet away. And we always do our tops and bottoms twice to wash our hands, right? And clean surfaces. So all that is still in place. All right. So we'll have more info as it gets updated, but check my page. I believe that we have a project today that was posted with our VisArts, and which was related to this book. And I don't have the printouts in front of me here. Let me see if I can pull them up on my phone. And thanks as always to VisArts. And if you go to my page, Councilmember Will Jawando page on Facebook, I think you can print out these pages and do some coloring, which we always love. Yeah, here we go. I found it. So if you go to the page, there's one. Remember, he said how much he was bigger than people. Okay, so that's on my page. You can print out one and color him whatever color you want. You don't have to do blue. You can do whatever you want with the squid, and then write something you think he's going to say, which is probably related to him being bigger. But you can write whatever you want. And then they have little creatures in the ocean, some from the book, that you can label in color as well. So I see a shark, I see a octopus, I see the turtles. So why don't you print that out too? And that's a good fun activity. If you want to share it with me, I always love seeing them. Thank you for people who send those in, okay? All right, so with that, we're gonna sing our goodbye song. And remember, 12:30 p.m. tomorrow, it's Miss Cynthia Arrivo, special guest. We'll see you then. Type questions and shout outs into our page, and I will respond to those tomorrow, okay? All right, we clap and say goodbye. We clap and say goodbye. With our friends at Storytime, we clap and say goodbye. We wave and say goodbye. We wave and say goodbye. With our friends at Storytime, we wave and say goodbye. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.